Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Commit to a Spiritual Path from Dandapani. So, I chose this one because I'm curious as to what he has to say about committing to something. Obviously, I agree and disagree. Obviously. And what I mean by this is that obviously, if you find the right path, you should commit to it. But if you're unsure, and this is where the problem will lie, is the fact that, if you commit to a path that you're never going to achieve, then you've wasted your time. But if you keep switching paths and never commit to one, then you wasted your time. So it's finding that right balance of finding the right path and committing to the right path. And the first path is not always the right path. It could be your 100th path, it could be your second path, it could be the first path, or it could be the 10th path. Who knows? That's going to be up to you to find out where the right path is. But I'm curious as to what he suggests to committing to the spiritual path. I wonder if it's committing to the first path or just spiritual path in general. Let's go ahead and get started.
And Darren, I think the big thing is that when it comes to spirituality, people think structure, process, goals are not necessary, right? They think that in spirituality, one should be free, a sense of freedom. I want to be connected to the universe. I'm not held back. There's no boundaries. I spent 10 years living as a monk, and I was so blessed to have one of the most, if not the most enlightened human being I've ever met in my life train me. He was all about structure, discipline, outlining a path and defining the goal clearly, because then it allowed me to harness my energy, channel it down a path with clear guidelines, boundaries on either side to allow me to keep my energy within a certain parameter, focus it towards a clearly defined goal in order to achieve and experience it. It's like a hose, right? If I put it in that spray mode, it's all over the place. But if I can put it to jet mode, I can funnel that water to the one plant that I need to water. And we take this approach with everything in our life.
Yeah, but if you put jet mode, you're gonna blow out the dirt and destroy the plant. I mean, I'm nitpicking there, but I think probably the best explanation is that when you have it on jet mode, it's a focused beam, whereas you have spray or shower, it's all over the place. Not don't water the plants with jet. You're gonna probably kill the plant.
Everything in our life has structure. The most mundane things. You put a shoe on, you put your socks, your shoes, you tie your laces. You never mix those steps out. Taking a shower, you take your clothes off, you go in the shower, you turn the water on, you check the temperature, you get wet, you put soap on, you wash the soap off, you dry yourself, you put new clothes on, you leave. What's 8, 9 steps I shared? Do you ever mix it up? Why don't you say, like, hey, I want to be free, man? Life's about being free. Let's diversity. Let's just mix it up. I'll go in the shower with my clothes on, put soap on my clothes. Cool, man. Let's feel some peace, brother. Why don't we do that? Everything else you allow structure, but when you come to spirituality, you don't have to commit to define your goals, and all of a sudden you tell me this about the universe going to guide you. You think Pluto, Jupiter, and Uranus are sitting around planning out your life? They're not. I think they got better things to do than pity life on this planet. So don't cop out. Put the responsibility on these planets, on this universe.
I don't think they have better things to do. I don't think they plan anything at all. They just exist and that's it.
Do the work. Figure it out yourself. Imagine if I said to you, Darren, you know what? I'm a little bit overweight. I've got the 20 pounds from COVID around my belly. But you know what? The universe is going to guide me. The universe is going to take care of me. I'm just going to surrender, man. I'm just going to surrender myself to the universe. And in about 3 months, I'm going to be ripped and healthy. The universe is going to guide me. What would you say to me? You go, this guy's nuts. The same way people talk to me about spirituality, and I go, like, you're freaking nuts. Why don't we take a logical, reasonable approach to spirituality like we do to business, to everything else in life?
Dude,
It's an easy excuse not to do the hard work.
Mm.
No one wants to do the hard work.
you just blasted me. That was incredible because it's so true. Why I'm laughing is because you just put a freaking target on it, and it's so true. What everyone does, it's all of a sudden I'm targeted. I'm on a ship. I've got my bow. I've got my sail, but all of a sudden spirituality, pull the sail down, pull the bow,
Right.
and now all of a sudden you're just flailing around in the ocean. Let
Would you approach your business that way?
No, and maybe I have in some respects over the years, and I certainly won't anymore. Yeah,
Right. So
doesn't work.
why it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. You don't get results.
Yeah,
Would you approach your body that way
no, not at
in
all.
getting your body healthy and fit and strong? You won't. Then all of a sudden I don't understand. I wish someone could sit down in front of me and educate my humble dumb mind on why it works in spirituality, but it doesn't work in everything else. I don't understand. I have struggled to understand 47 years of being on this planet. I don't understand why everyone else thinks that works except me.
Hmm.
Well,
What
there's
what
a
am I missing?
there's a delusion. I mean, clearly there's a delusion to part of it.
Okay, so it's kind of funny. There's someone that I used to talk to that talks about spirituality, but there's no guidance to it. They just merely believe that God is everywhere, and that's about it. I mean, is that to say that they're wrong? No. What I mean by wrong is not, oh, is God everywhere. No, it's more along the lines of how they follow their path. Um, could they accidentally run into enlightenment? Maybe, perhaps. Highly doubtful, but possible. You know, it's one of the a billion reincarnations. Maybe they just get hit with enlightenment, but highly unlikely. Now, Dandapani is talking about a lot of structure into the spiritual path, and yes, absolutely, you do need a, I wouldn't say a very rigid explanation or path, but there's definitely got to be methods. Like Dandapani said, his teacher was very, how do I say, laid down a very rigid path for him, which helped him a lot. Not everyone, I suppose, in this world can, say, devote a lot of time to spirituality. However, the thing that I like what Dandapani said in his other videos was is to practice while you're practice every day, almost every hour. And what he meant by that's the practice your meditation, your focus on everything that you're doing. That way you're practicing your spirituality throughout the day, not just the 1 hour or the 2 hours or the 15 minutes that you have. Do I do that? I said before that I did. Let me see. I think about it again, and I think I do. Not as much, not all the time, because I don't think it's necessary, maybe. It's just because my method is understanding. With that, I don't struggle, I don't, I guess, I don't know what the right word is. I don't get emotional, I don't suffer. That's the right word. I don't suffer because I understand. So, so I don't necessarily need to practice every day, although technically I am by understanding and then by not suffering by events that goes on. So if something were to make you suffer and you don't, you're practicing, I suppose you're practicing your method there. And if you are affected by something, then clearly you need work in that particular part. So commit to a spiritual path. So I guess more along the lines of, don't think that things will just happen for a reason. Don't think that Venus will properly line up your life energies for you. Or some, whatever external factor will do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to put in the work. And don't depend on other things to do it for you. Which I 100% agree. And again, I thought it was going to go along the lines of finding a path and committing to it. Example, like Kundalini or Bhakti or Jnana, one of these paths, and just committing to it. But you don't know which path works best for you, so it's obviously you're going to have to learn a little bit of everything, because I believe Swami Sarvapriyananda and Swami Taratmananda has said that it's best to learn them all, but not everyone can do it. But everyone does a little bit of everything. We do a little bit of karma yoga, we do a little bit of jnana yoga, we do a little bit of bhakti yoga. Those things we always do on an everyday basis. Raja, that's a different story. That's something that we should be doing. But some of us are better at certain karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, and we have a strong, we able to follow a particular type easier. Bhakti yoga being, I believe, relatively easy versus, say, karma or jnana yoga. So you still need to learn a little bit of everything, but you could fall to tendencies to just one. But of course, try them all out and figure out which one works best for you, especially if you maybe like Kundalini yoga. But that is something that they say to have a master with you, someone who's knowledgeable in that. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, is that obviously commit to something, but make sure that it is something that you feel comfortable with and are able to progress in. Don't get stuck with the first one, and don't keep keep looking forever, because you have to find the right balance. You have to find the right one. You could look forever and you could be stuck at the first one. Don't do either one of those. Anyways, that's my reaction to commit to the spiritual path. If you like more content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down, down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.